There we go, and here we go. We are live. Welcome everybody to Unit 3. So sign into the Kahoot. You can see the code on the screen now. We're going to take about 3 minutes or so. Get signed in, get logged in, get ready for some fun. Today we're doing culture. We're going to be going into religion and culture here, diffusion. This is Unit 3, everybody, and it's a great one. Now, there's a lot of stuff in this unit, and remember, when we're reviewing and we're doing these Kahoots, we're going to have questions that are just multiple choice, but the AP test this year is going to be those 2 FRQs. So it's going to be really important that you practice in other ways. This is just going to help you with some of the vocabulary and some of kind of the main concepts, but it's not enough to just prep you for that entire test this year. So we have already almost 300 people in. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Welcome. Let me know in the chat where you guys are from. Hopefully everyone right now is doing well. I hope your families are safe. I hope people are healthy. Things are going well, hopefully for you. So a couple more minutes and then we'll get started. The questions are a little bit shorter this time for our length. That we still have 25 questions, but about 30 seconds for each question to answer, just to kind of make sure that this doesn't get going too long or become a little repetitive. So getting up there to 500 players. Awesome, awesome. Got people from all over the world right now in here, and it's exciting. So, yeah. Woo! Also, if you haven't checked your emails yet, College Board has been sending out some really cool tips and advice, and also this big document that has all the information you need for that test day. So that way you can make sure you don't miss anything, and you get signed in, and you're all set for the AP test. May 12th, we're almost there. We're getting there. It's kind of crazy, actually, to think about. All right. Hello everybody. My chat is very delayed. I still haven't been able to get the internet fully going, so if I miss comments or different things from you, apologize for that. Hopefully I'll be able to get there for you. So a couple more minutes left. Got around 565 people. That's phenomenal. That is a ton of people. Super awesome and excited to have everyone here. Now, again, like I said at the start of this live stream so far, this is just Unit 3. So we're focusing on culture, we're focusing on diffusion, we're focusing on religion. And Kahoot remembers multiple choice, and the answers are also limited of how much I can type. So you are going to have to do more review than just this, but this is a great start and a way to just kind of see, do you got some of the basics down? Cool! All right, what do we got? It's 1:34. So we are going to get started in a second. Real quick, as people are getting logged in, as you're all getting set up, I just want to talk about, I get a ton of questions. I'm glad that a bunch of people have used my summary videos on YouTube, and I'm glad they're helping you out. The Unit 3 summary video is up, and if you haven't checked it out yet, I would definitely recommend watching it. It's a great resource, but it's only in that ultimate review packet. So again, the ultimate review packet, there's a link in the description if you're interested in it. This is what it looks like, so we'll just kind of quick transition here. You can see Unit 3 right here. You got the video, so this would go over all the main concepts you need to know. It's a 24-minute video, covers all the standards. It comes with a study guide. It comes with practice questions, so you can practice what you learned. It comes with also a second quiz that'll focus just on the language families, because those can be kind of difficult, and some extra review documents to help you out. Plus, there's full practice AP testing here. So it's a great resource. I'll stop kind of talking about now, but if you're interested in this stuff, it's on the ultimate review packet. It's in the description there. I can answer questions if you have it. But hopefully that kind of helps you guys out. If you had questions, that's a great tool. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to start the game. If you want to get in, you can always sign in later on. By all means, the code will stay up there. All right, here we go. Unit 3. Question 1 coming up. All right, we'll kind of move my... There we go. Whoops. Wrong screen to transition to. There we go. Much better, much better. All right, the majority of the world religions originally diffused by what? What type of diffusion here? So originally we're talking about the world religions. What was the original diffusion? So the process. We have relocation, contagious stimulus, and expansion. All right, 10 seconds left. Let me know too if the Kahoot audio is too loud, if it's too quiet, if my voice is too loud or quiet. Let me know so I can make sure that you guys can hear everything just right. All right. Ooh, Tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. That is awesome. Cool. All right. It is relocation. Yes. Now, the world religions, one thing with them, for the most part, this is during that colonial area, imperialism. And once they spread, then we started to see two other forms, whether it be hierarchical, whether it be contagious. So those different things can apply to the spread of religion. But when originally diffusion happened, it was through kind of that relocation. All right. Next question. Whoops, kind of skipped the leaderboard there. Wearing a hijab would be an example of which of the following? Let me quick move me so I'm not blocking the question there. Kind of, that's a good spot for the box. Why not? All righty. We got people from Chicago. Awesome, awesome. So wearing a hijab, what would it be? A custom, a fad, a hearth, a taboo? So general kind of just vocab here. Nothing hopefully too crazy. Got 10 seconds left. Over 600 people have answered so far. Awesome. We are getting up there. So a big thing with this unit, culture can be a beast of a unit. And you want to make sure you try to condense and focus on some main concepts here. All right, customs. Yeah, majority of people got it. Woo, awesome. All right, what do we have? Story to honor retains the lead, continues that lead strong. We'll kind of quick move so you can see the scores. And we are going to be on to our next question, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we got Florida gang. Do we have floor gang here, though? That's the real question, if we have floor gang. All right. There we go. Which of the following would not be a centrifugal force for a country? Now, remember, the important thing here is centrifugal, not centripetal. So make sure you're making that distinction when you're looking at the different options there. A big part of the AP test this year is going to be making sure that you have an understanding of these concepts. So when you get to the writing portion, because it's all writing, you don't have to worry about trying to look something up. You're ready and you can focus on just writing your FRQs. That's going to be important. Okay. Woo! A little bit of confusion going back and forth. Remember, centrifugal forces here are things that are going to actually bring people kind of together. If, let's say, the country you live in, someone declared war, you went to war. It's not a good thing, but on the other hand, it normally does a pretty good job of unifying a country. People get around and gathered around one another and have that patriotism, nationalism, and they want to defend their homeland. So that could be something that would pull people together. These other things would actually separate. One thing here, too, for even multiple choice, you can see this is the only one that doesn't kind of really belong. All these others do talk about some variety. All right. Oh, and we have a lead change. Wise Sloth takes first place. Moving up, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. All right. Anything can happen. Question 4 is up. Which of the following would not be a characteristic of global culture? So global culture here, which of the following would not be a characteristic? This is a not question, so don't let that change or kind of confuse you when you're processing these. So we have changes in the current culture. Income is a big obstruction. The hearth is in MDCs, those more developed countries. And isolated and focused around rural settlements. We're talking about global culture here, or pop culture, or modern culture, kind of whatever you want to call it. And the answer is the isolation. Yes, global culture is not going to be just isolated. It's not going to be around rural. It's going to be more in urban areas. It's going to diffuse. It's not going to just stay stagnant. It's not going to stay in one area. Hence, global. And another leaderboard change. Ladies and gentlemen, Radiant Elk taking the lead. Woo! All right. Going on to the next question here. The image below is the name of the longest town in the world. And if you can pronounce it, props to you. I cannot. I'm not even going to try. But that is the name. What is this an example of? What are we looking at here? What could fit here? So this is known as a what? We're talking about the name of this place. So this is just actually a definition. We're looking at a vocab concept, but the AP test might use some of these words in their questions. So by reviewing your vocabulary, making sure you have kind of a good understanding of these concepts, it can help you then answer questions quicker. Woo! All right, majority of you guys got it. Awesome. 577 of you nailed it. This is, again, one, just look, make sure you just understand what the word is. And, changing the leaderboard again. Every single round, it's changing. We have a close game right now. Look at that scoreboard. Cool. Last time we had a little bit of a lead, and we didn't see as much shift, so we'll have to see how all that changes now. All right, we have question 6. When various ethnic and cultural groups coexist with one another in society. So they're coexisting, they're peaceful, they're living together, they're all happy. What would this be an example of? What do we got, people? All right. So we're looking here at, again, a lot of these different vocabs. And here, this is just kind of a definition for one of these terms. So we have 7 seconds left on the clock. Over 683 people have answered so far. And the answer is multiculturalism. Correct. Still, the majority of you got it. A little bit of division there. Remember, syncretisms, when we have the two things come together, acculturation and assimilation, deal actually with people losing their traits or kind of the merging of them, depending on what we're talking about and what scenario there. So multiculturalism, a great example of that could be like the United States as the melting pot. So everyone comes together. We are all one country, and you form this American identity. Now, it's not just America. There's tons of different countries that multiculturalism would fit with. Okay, and let's go back to that leaderboard. Radiant Elk taking back. All right, moving back up there. And our next question, question 7. Jack cannot believe that people in other countries eat bugs. It's disgusting. He believes people who do this do not have standards. So he is judging people who are eating bugs. Maybe it's a source of protein. He's saying, this isn't okay. What is happening here? What is maybe Jack doing that he maybe shouldn't? Or what concept could we see here? All right, shout out to, what do we got? We got people apparently from Puerto Rico. We got people from Utah, Texas. Welcome, Texas gang. Welcome back again. Texas was here a lot last time too. Awesome. Florida, Minnesota, woo, people all over. And yes, it would be ethnocentrism. So cultural relativism, remember that is actually when we are looking and we are trying to understand that culture through their perspective. So I'm not going to judge them based on my own standards. Ethnocentrism is I'm going to judge someone based on my beliefs. So I would apply my customs to them, even though they might have a different outlook on life, they might have a different culture, and they have different things that are applying there. So it's not necessarily always fair. All right, Funny Macaw takes the lead. Starting to see some division. Radiant Elk moving down a little bit. Otherwise, we got Carrion Ostrich, the Bronze Dragon, and the Silly Dolphin all moving up. Woo! So lots and lots of changes on that leaderboard. Next question coming up. Which of the following is not a universalizing religion? All right, which of the following is not a universalizing religion? Remember, we have these two main categories, and those categories will be important for you to understand. What is a universalizing religion? What falls under that? What characteristics would be a universalizing? And also, what are like ethnic religions? So those are going to be important, those two different kind of concepts, those categories. We can see a lot of things falling under there. And we have 2 seconds left on the clock. What do we got? We have Judaism. Yes, this would not be a universalizing religion. All the others would. These other religions, Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, all focus on expanding. They adopt to local cultures. They change kind of where and as they go. So that's going to be important. Judaism kind of focus just mainly on their population that they have currently and also in the geographic area they're located in, which would be, right now, Israel. So next question, moving up. A group of languages that share a common origin, but have since evolved into individual languages. So we're talking about languages here. This might be referencing a tree. Maybe you saw images of it in class. That could maybe be a hint, kind of help you out a little bit here. But is it a language branch, a language group, a language family, or a dialect? Plug the merch. Don't have merch yet. No merch on the channel. Yeah. Yes, the closest thing to merch would be that ultimate review packet, which is in the description of the video. Woo! All right, and it is a language branch there. That would be for our kind of focus. And one thing to note for the actual AP test, especially like this year, they're not going to be asking you any questions that are really define or identify. They're not going to be focusing on things you can quick Google. You're not going to get points for that. So you want to focus more on like applying concepts. So again, I know I keep saying this in this video. This is to help you see, all right, are you understanding some of these main concepts? Are you not? And where do you need to maybe study a little bit more? But it is not the only review that you should be doing. There's a lot of concepts you need to be able to apply, especially when it comes to like reading maps. All right, let's go on to our next thing as we continue onward. Seeing another change in the leaderboard. Very close game today. This is awesome. Close, close, close. All right, which of the following language families is being displayed below? So we have a map here. You're just trying to identify. We have this blue region or a teal? I don't know. I think it looks like a teal region. So which language family is being displayed down here? So out of these four, which one would most accurately explain the languages being spoken here? All right, we have Wolfpack. Go Wolfpack. Code is on. Good question. Good question. The code is on the bottom left corner. So if you're trying to get in right now, code is right there. If you're watching this as a recording, welcome. Thank you. Even though you couldn't be here live, awesome for you still participating and watching it. Yes, Nilo-Saharan, that would be our correct one. Focusing around the Saharan Desert. Also, you got the Nile in that area a little bit too. Oh, Fearless Crab taking the lead. Lots of shifts here, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of changes. Woo! Big changes in the leaderboard. Moving up to the next one then. Which type of diffusion is being displayed below? So we have a map here. Remember, every time you see a map, and if you see a map on this FRQ, you better check that title, check that key, look at the map, then go to the questions and the answers. Obviously, yes, you're doing a Kahoot, so you're probably trying to rush a little bit more. But on the real test, you want to take it slow. Focus this, study it. You're going to have stimulus questions only, so you're going to have data. It might be a table, a chart, a map. Read that stuff before you go into the questions. Yes, relocation. You can see here they are on there kind of even saying trek referencing the movement as they go all the way Salt Lake City, the Mormons, going there to Utah where they have the largest population. Cool. Small changes in the leaderboard. Not much. Starting to maybe solidify a little bit. We'll have to wait and see. All right, question 12. Which of the following is the world's largest ethnic religion? So we already talked about universalizing religions. What about ethnic? Which one is largest? And we're talking about population size here. We're talking about the number of followers. So here we go. Which one could it be? Woo! Voice is kind of loud. I can turn that down a little bit if the mic is too loud. I can kind of reduce that there. All right. So we have Confucianism, Taoism, Islam, and Hinduism. We have the correct answer is Hinduism. Move the timer. What timer? Timer. We got. Can't see. Apparently, is it not? We're having some difficulties there, or did I transition the wrong thing on? All right. Quick check. Here's our wonderful thing. Apparently having some issues with the streaming software. I'm going to kind of pause, try to figure out where we are going. All right. Can everyone see the whole screen now? You can't see the answers? Kind of quick check here. Dun, 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 dun. All right. I think we might have gotten it. I don't know for sure. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Always interesting doing live streams. Still very new at it. We have over 730 people right now who are on this. So, okay. I think we might have gotten it. I tried changing a couple different things. If you can't see the options, then let me know. All right. Moving on. And we'll just quick transition that. According to the map below, Buddhism diffused initially to where? So what are we talking? We're using this map. So we have a stimulus here. It is referencing perceptual regions. Can people still not see? All right. 15 seconds on there. We have answers coming up. But yes, if we're having some technical difficulties, that is going to make this a lot harder to be able to see the answers. Okay. So going down. Okay. All right. We are up. Red is the correct answer. Southwest Asia, Northeast Asia, and South Asia. It sounds like, I'm not sure exactly why we're having the issues with the stream there. So if this is still actually struggling, I'm going to keep trying to change a couple other things, and hopefully that'll work. But on the screen, hopefully right now you can see the map. And so what we're looking at here is you can see the different things by century. We have Buddhism, Islam, and Christianity. That is all stuff to be able to kind of guide you of where it's happening. Notice we have kind of our hearth. This would be right here where Buddhism kind of started. There we go. And it continued to go up into Asia a little bit, going into China, also going southeast. So that's just kind of interpreting data, understanding what you're reading on the map. All right, let's see the changes here in the leaderboard. Couple changes. We're going to continue on moving up. We have question 14. Which religion is being displayed in the photo below? So you're using, again, we have a stimulus here. This is one stimulus. Hopefully it's kind of making sense for you and you can see it. Couple hints in there. You got what you can see. We have a person in there dressed in some specific gear. That could give you a hint as well. And we also have a temple, and that could also help out as well. So 4 seconds left. This is one of the main religions you'll definitely want to have an idea of. Often gets confused with Islam, but it is the Sikhs. So Sikhs, often a lot of times people misunderstand them as thinking that they are part of actually Islam and that they're Muslim. They are not. They are definitely unique. All right, couple changes in the leaderboard there. We have some changes going down. Woo! The Smiling Lark takes the lead. All right, we're on question 15 of 25. Which of the following language families is spoken primarily in the Middle East? What do we got? So we're looking here primarily in the Middle East. Continuing to go down. We have Indo-European, Austroasian, Dravidian, or Afro-Asiatic. What do we have? Okay. 10 seconds left. Again, this is just looking at language families, where they're located, and kind of what's happening with the location here. So we're looking at the primary languages that are spoken. And it is Afro-Asia. Correct. That is correct. Okay, coming up, question 16. Which of the following best illustrates a cultural landscape created by a minority culture going against modern culture? So going against the modern culture and everything that's happening there. What do we got? Okay, so we're looking here trying to figure out. We have public sculptures, protesters in the streets, the arrangement of homes, graffiti on the side of buildings. So the focus here is our cultural landscape and a little bit of rebellion going on. So those are going to be the two things to kind of look for. Woo! And it is graffiti, yes. Protesters are also a form of kind of going against, but they're not necessarily part of the cultural landscape. So those are just a temporary thing. They're people. The graffiti is actually on the side of the buildings, is being incorporated into that cultural landscape. It's modifying the environment, the area around. Big changes in the leaderboard. Lucky Llama takes the lead. Up next, question 17 out of 25. The Moriori and the Maori used to be one cultural group. However, due to being separated by an ocean, they actually became two. They became separated. This is actually from Jared Diamond, Guns, Germ, Steel. Great book if you ever have time to read it. It's a great book. A lot of human geography concepts are in it. So always kind of interesting there. But kind of had a sad ending because one of the groups gets killed by the other, even though originally they used to be together. So what do we have? Global culture, cultural divergence, stimulus, or cultural convergence? Yes, divergence. The ocean separated them. The space between actually, created two different cultures because they weren't near each other. Convergence would be if they came back together and became one. All right, back to the leaderboard. Here we go. Lucky Llama continuing to be in the lead. What do we got? Can transition this down. This is a puzzle one, so you're trying to figure out what is exactly in the order. So you're trying to figure out the order here. So is it Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam? Which photo goes with which? You're trying to figure out exactly the order. So hopefully this is working still. I know there's a couple different things of stuff blocking stuff. It should all be removed now. So on my stream, it looks like it is fine. Hopefully the kinks have been kind of fixed. So, correct order would be Islam, the Grand Mosque, Christianity, Judaism, and then Buddhism. This would be the order there. If you're trying to get back in, remember to code is on the bottom left corner. All right, so those are different things. Actually, this would be an example of just looking at like a stimuli. Well, you have multiple here because we have different images and photos of religious areas that you would need to kind of have an idea of for identifying that cultural landscape, how they modify the area, places of worship, all show different aspects. All right, which of the following characteristics is more typical in global culture over indigenous culture? So we're looking here at our two cultures here. All right, what do we got? We got floor gang, couch gang. PewDiePie's only about floor gang. Only about floor gang. Woo! So, as we continue to go, we have about 13 seconds left. One thing again to remind you, hopefully this is going well and you guys are getting these. But remember, especially for this unit, there's a lot of concepts here and you have to focus on looking at maps, practicing data, understanding how things diffuse, what different types of situations would change things. This is, because it's a Kahoot, a little bit more focused on the vocab and different things there. Yes, this is definitely it, where we're talking about the uniform landscape starts to become more uniform. Global culture kind of homogenizes things. We all start to see some similarities. All righty, going on to the next one. Question 20 out of 25. Which of the following would be part of the cultural landscape? So we're talking here about the cultural landscape. Which thing would be part of it? So we have coastal wetlands, Aztec ruins, a large forest, or eroded shoreline. So again, focusing on culture, society, the environment, how it's being shaped, everything that's going on there. Woo! 10 seconds left. Remember to, if you need extra help, the 5 Prep app, actually, if you haven't gotten that yet, that is an awesome resource. You could talk to your teachers. You could watch some of the videos, figure out what works best for you. Aztec ruins, yes, this is the only one where human-environment interaction kind of is occurring. They've modified it to reflect cultural values. That would be that cultural landscape there. And the Lucky Llama is on fire, continuing to remain in the lead, pulling ahead. Next question, 21 out of 25. Which of the following is not one of the ways globalization has impacted the world? So we're looking at globalization, how it's impacted the world, how it's changed things, how it's helped different things. All of this stuff is dealing right now with globalization. And one of these answers, well, is not actually occurring. 300 people have answered so far. 400 going up, continuing almost to the end of this live stream. We're coming right around a 30-minute mark. Hopefully the next couple, that's what we'll kind of be around to. That way it's not too long and you guys can enjoy your day and everything there. But yes, indigenous cultures continue to grow. Opposite, as globalization happens more, indigenous cultures continue to struggle. Modern global culture actually starts to replace it more. So that would definitely not be true. They don't continue to diffuse. As we see technology and connections be made, those cultures struggle a little bit, and some of them actually start to reject global culture, trying to preserve their heritage. Woo! And we continue to have the Lucky Llama in the lead. Awesome. Next question, 22 out of 25. The image below would connect with which world religion? So this is a very, hopefully you can identify this. This definitely is a big part of a certain faith. Right now, actually, there's some connections to what's happening in the world a little bit. If you look now, this picture where we have all these people gathered around it, today it's pretty empty, and that's due to COVID and the changes that they have had to make due to the virus. But it is Islam, correct? That's the Kaaba. So this is the Kaaba. This would be part of the Hajj that people are required to go to, as long as you can afford it, and you can at least once in your life. All right. Continuing to remain strong on the top, Lucky Llama with the lead. All right, once the Black Death reached a city, what type of diffusion would occur? So we have a stimulus here. We have a map. You can see we do have diffusion occurring. What we're trying to see is, all right, it's already reached these cities. So you're not focusing on it going from the port cities. We're focusing once it's there, then what type of diffusion would occur. So here I'm trying to give you a little bit of context because, again, there's multiple diffusion types we could have. So trying to narrow that scope down a little bit for you. That's kind of a hint here. So this is coming into an area, and then it's going to spread throughout. We're not focusing on there. Yes, contagious. You got it. If the question here was focusing more on actually what type of diffusion would be occurring for the port cities, that would actually probably be more hierarchical because we have a system of structure in place. It's going to go from port to port, or these urban areas, and then diffuse from. So we could see hierarchical, relocation even, and then also diffusion happening through contagious. So all the different things with the prompts definitely matter. It changes the context. That's why you got to make sure you read questions carefully. Mystery Condor taking the lead. All right. Swooping in and right at the last couple questions. We're at 24 out of 25. We will see if the llama can come back. Which of the following would not be a characteristic of Christianity? So out of these options, which one would not fit with Christianity? Is it a monotheistic religion? Main religious text is the Bible. Earth is located in Eastern Europe. Or it is one of the Abrahamic religions. There's a couple of those. What do we got? Woo! Hopefully this stuff is kind of helping. This is one thing to review. When you are reviewing this unit, I wouldn't recommend going through everything with all of the world religions and studying all the different aspects of them. The main focus is understanding and being able to identify them, but focus more on how they diffused, how they reshaped the cultural landscape, how they're integrated, different images of them. Can you identify it? You don't need to go through and like read the Bible or read the Quran or read all the different texts. Focus more on like the main concepts of the faith and how they interacted with the area. Remember, this isn't a history class. We're focusing here on how places influence each other, how they interact, how the environment is shaped, all this back and forth. All right, let's go to our leaderboard. What do we got going into about the last question? Mystery Condor trying to retain that lead. The Lucky Llama trying to get back. Fearless Crab is also coming up there. McDonald's diffused around the world. However, as it diffuses, they change their menu to reflect local culture. What's happening here? What type of diffusion do we have occurring? All right, so the focus here is not necessarily on them like diffusing around the world. It's focusing on how they're changing their menu. Also, they change their architecture as well. They adopt to the local culture and area. So what do we have occurring here? What type of diffusion could this be? About 6 seconds left on the clock. Over 600 answers. Awesome job, everybody. Woo! 0 seconds. We're down there. And it is 497 people got it right. Stimulus diffusion. Remember, stimulus diffusion, you can actually kind of see it being illustrated here. When we're talking about stimulus diffusion, we're talking about that core concept stays the same. But as it diffuses, it's going to pick and kind of choose, and it's going to relate and reflect local areas. So depending on where you are in the world, McDonald's looks very different. They adapt to the culture to be able to best suit the needs of their customers. So the idea of McDonald's is the same, but it has some stimulus diffusion occurring. All right, let's see our winners. We have in first. Oh, sorry. I thought I was going to go first. I don't know why originally. But third, we have second, first, and our first place ended up being, who ended up with the first place? The Mystery Condor was able to continue the lead and hold on. Awesome job. All right. Sweet. Hopefully this kind of helped. Again, remember everyone, this is helpful, but the big thing for the FRQs, especially for this unit, is going to be looking at maps and data. Now, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Next week, we're going to be doing 2 live streams for Unit 4 and 5, because believe it or not, we're almost at the AP test. So we're going to be doing 2 live streams next week. One will be on Wednesday. I got to figure out the other one, so make sure you subscribe so you get notified. Also, next week, I'm going to be coming out hopefully with 3 or 4 videos on FRQs, breaking those down, focusing on the day of the test, what should you do, tips and tricks, and all that will hopefully benefit you guys. Thank you so much for all the support. Make sure you subscribe. And also, if you need help reviewing, talk to your teachers. They want to help you. They are here for you. Check out my ultimate review package. It's in the description of this video. Look